Friday the 13th is considered the unluckiest day of the year. The fear of it even has a name, paraskevidē, katriophobia, from the Greek words for Friday and 13. The belief is relatively modern, becoming widely established only in the 19th and early 20th centuries, and it belongs almost entirely to cultures shaped by Christianity, because both the number 13 and Friday carry negative symbolism rooted in Christian tradition. The fear is real enough that it changes behavior at scale. Most large hotels quietly skip from floor 12 to floor 14 on their elevator buttons. Major office buildings do the same, and several airlines do not have a row 13 in their aircraft. First, the number 13. The number 13 carries its unlucky reputation from multiple directions. In Christian tradition, the Last Supper was attended by 13 people, Jesus and his 12 apostles, and the 13th guest was Judas, who betrayed Jesus and triggered the crucifixion. A similar story exists in Norse mythology, where 12 gods were gathered for a dinner in Valhalla, until a 13th uninvited guest, the trickster god Loki, crashed the party and orchestrated the death of Balder, the most beloved of all the gods. Both stories carry the same dark association, a group of 12 in harmony, disrupted and destroyed by a 13th. The number 12 itself is also seen in many traditions as a number of completeness. 12 months in a year, 12 hours in half a day, 12 signs of the zodiac, which makes 13 feel like one step beyond order. Friday carries its own dark reputation independently of the number. In Christian tradition, Jesus was crucified on a Good Friday, making the day permanently associated with suffering and death. According to some interpretations of Genesis, Adam and Eve ate the forbidden fruit on a Friday, bringing sin and mortality into the world. The great flood of Noah was also said to have begun on a Friday. Beyond Christianity, the name Friday itself comes from Frigg, or Freya, a powerful Norse goddess whom early Christian missionaries actively worked to recast as a witch and a symbol of evil, in an effort to discredit pagan beliefs. That smear campaign attached a sinister undertone to her name, and by extension to the day named after her, that lingered in folk belief for centuries. Friday and 13 ended up fused into a single superstition through a combination of stories and historical events. The most significant is the fall of the Knights Templar. On Friday the 13th of October 1307, King Philip IV of France ordered the mass arrest of the Knights Templar, the powerful medieval Christian military order. Hundreds were seized simultaneously across France, tortured into confessions, and eventually executed. The date became associated with sudden catastrophe and betrayal. Several authors and publications in the 19th and early 20th centuries then codified the combined superstition into popular culture. If you genuinely feel that Friday the 13th brings you bad luck, that feeling has a name too: confirmation bias. On any given day, random things go wrong. On Friday the 13th, those same random misfortunes get noticed, remembered, and attributed to the date, while any good things that happen get forgotten. Your brain is not recording reality. It is collecting evidence for a conclusion it already reached. The same bias works in reverse. If you decide from now on that Friday the 13th is your lucky day, you will begin noticing and remembering the good things that happen on it, and the day will functionally become lucky for you. There are between 1 and 3 Friday the 13ths every calendar year, giving you plenty of opportunities to test this. However, not every culture shares this fear in the first place. In Italy, 13 is actually considered a lucky number. It is associated with the goddess of fertility. In ancient Egypt, the number 13 was associated with the afterlife in a positive way, representing the final rung of a ladder leading to eternal life. In some Hindu traditions, Friday is actually considered an auspicious day, associated with the goddess Lakshmi, and ideal for new beginnings. Those same cultures, however, have their own unlucky things entirely. In China, Japan, and Korea, the unlucky number is 4, because the word for 4 sounds nearly identical to the word for death in those languages. Chinese and Japanese buildings frequently skip the 4th floor for the same reason Western buildings skip the 13th. In Italy, where 13 is lucky, the unlucky number is 17, because in Roman numerals, 17 can be rearranged to spell vixae, a Latin phrase meaning "my life is over." In Spanish-speaking countries, it is Tuesday the 13th that is considered unlucky rather than Friday, because Tuesday is associated with Ares, the god of war and destruction. Click the video on your screen right now and I'll explain another everyday mystery you've wondered about your whole life, but never thought to look up.